Chapter 10 First Homecoming.
Good day everyone, I am Miss Rizal Salgarino and today I'll be the first to walk you through Rizal's first homecoming after 5 years in Europe. Now, even after years of studying in Europe, learning new languages, and enjoying the company of prominent Western figures, Rizal never forgot his homeland. At heart, he remained a true Filipino with unquenchable love for the Philippines and a determination to die in the land of his birth. Despite warnings from Pasiano, Silvestre Obaldo, and friends like Chinggoy, Rizal decided to return home. The publication of Noli Me Tangere had angered the friars, putting him at risk, but his love for family and country outweighed fear. Now Rizal had 4 main reasons for returning. First is to operate on his mother's eyes, to serve his oppressed countrymen, to personally observe the impact of his novel and writings in the Philippines, and lastly, to discover why Leonor Rivera had remained silent. Driven by duty and love, he resolved to face whatever awaited him in his homeland. Before leaving, Rizal expressed his determination in his letters to friends and family. On June 19 of 1887, he wrote to Ferdinand Blumentritt from Geneva, and I quote, "Your advice that I live in Madrid and continue to write from there is very benevolent, but I cannot accept it. I cannot endure the life in Madrid where everything is a voice in a wilderness. My parents want to see me, and I also want to see them. All my life I desire to live in my country by the side of my family. Until now I am not Europeanized like some Filipinos of Madrid. I always like to return to the country of my birth." A few days later, on June 29 in Rome, he wrote to his father announcing his departure, and I quote, "On the 15th of July, at the latest, I shall embark for our country, so that from the 50th to the 30th of August we shall see each other." Now, these letters show a man firmly rooted in his identity, prioritizing family, country, and duty over comfort and safety. Now, in August of 1887, Rizal returned to his homeland. He settled in Calamba and lived the quiet life of a country doctor, tending to patients and spending time with family. But peace was fleeting. His enemies, angered by the revelations in the Noli Me Tangere, began persecuting him, even threatening his life. Despite the danger, Rizal's resolve never wavered. He had returned for love of family, service to his people, and commitment to truth. This first homecoming marked not just a return to the Philippines, but the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one that would test his courage, skill, and dedication even further. Now, at this point, I'll pass it on to Ms. Povadora, who will continue with Rizal's subsequent activities, challenges, and the travels after his return. Thank you.
Next is the delightful trip to Manila. So Rizal traveled from Rome to Marseille, a French port which he reached without mishap. So Marseille is France's second largest city and a historic Mediterranean port known for its multicultural vibrancy. And mishap, when we say mishap, it means an unlucky accident. So that means Rizal traveled from Rome to Marseille without encountering any unlucky accident. So on July 3, 1887, Rizal boarded the steamship Gemna. So the steamship Gemna was a French Messageries Maritimes passenger steamship, which also the same vessel that brought Rizal to Europe 5 years prior. So the ship carried about 50 passengers, 4 Englishmen, 3 Chinese, 2 Germans, 2 Japanese, many Frenchmen, and only 1 Filipino, and that is Jose Rizal. So as the only multilingual passenger there, so Rizal served as an interpreter for his companions. So the steamer took the route to the Orient via Suez Canal. So this is a sea level waterway connecting Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. Actually, this was the second time that Rizal saw the historic canal. The first time was when he traveled from Manila to Europe in 1882. So while traveling, Rizal engaged with his fellow passengers. He even played chess and conversed in multiple languages. And on July 30 in Saigon, Rizal then transferred to another steamer, which was the Haiphong, which was also bound for Manila on August 2. So on August 3, that was a pleasant travel which made Rizal sleep soundly the whole night. Next is the arrival in Manila. So when the Haifong reached Manila near midnight on August 5, Rizal was overjoyed to step back on his native soil again. So he stayed shortly to visit some friends and found Manila largely unchanged when he left 5 years prior. So there were the old churches, buildings, roads, boats on the Pasig River, and the heavy walls surrounding the city.
Now let's tackle the homecoming from chapter 10. So on August 8, he returned to Calamba. His family welcomed him affectionately, with plentiful tears of joy. Writing to Blumentritt of his homecoming, he said, "I had a pleasant voyage. I found my family enjoying good health, and our happiness was great in seeing each other again. They shed tears of joy, and I had to answer 10,000 questions at the same time." The rejoicings of Rizal's return over, his family becomes worried for his safety. Pasiano did not leave him during the first days after arrival to protect him from any enemy assault. His own father would not let him go out alone, lest something might happen to him. In Calamba, Rizal established a medical clinic. His first patient was his mother, who was almost blind. He cannot treat her eyes because of the cataracts were not yet ripe. News to the arrival of a great doctor from Germany spread far and wide. Patients from Manila and the provinces flocked to Calamba. Rizal, who came to be called Dr. Oliman because he came from Germany. He treated their ailments, and soon he acquired a lucrative medical practice. His professional fees were reasonable, even gratis to the poor. Within a few months, he was able to earn 900 pesos as a physician. By February 1888, he earned a total of 5,000 pesos as medical fees. Unlike many successful medical practitioners, Rizal did not selfishly devote all his time to enriching himself. He opened a gymnasium for young folks where he introduced European sports. He tried to interest his townmates in gymnastics, fencing, and shooting so as to discourage the cockfights and gambling. Rizal suffered one failure during his 6 months of sojourn in Calamba. His failure to Secretary Leonor Rivera. He tried to go to the Gupan, but his parents absolutely forbade him to go because Leonor's mother did not like him for a son-in-law. With a heavy heart, Rizal bowed to his parents' wish. He was caught within the iron grip of the custom of his time that marriage must be arranged by the parents of both groom and bride. The happy homecoming of Jose Rizal in August 1887 represents a bittersweet chapter in his life where personal joy, professional success, and social duty were clouded by safety and concerns and heartbreak. My understanding of this period is that it highlights Rizal's deep sense of filial piety or devotion to family. He returned despite the known dangers to his life just to serve his people and treat his mother's failing eyesight. This era showcases his versatility as Dr. Eliman, which he proved his medical brilliance by building a lucrative practice, yet he maintained a high moral compass by treating the poor for free and promoting physical fitness to steer his townmates away from gambling. Ultimately, the period reveals the heavy burden he carried. While he was a hero to his patients and a leader in his community, he remained a submissive son who sacrificed his own happiness with Leonor Rivera to respect his parents' wishes and rigid social customs of the 19th century. Thank you.
Let's talk about Storm over Danoli. Here we see Jose Rizal in Calamba, quietly going about his daily life practicing medicine, painting, managing his gymnasium, and participating in civic affairs. Yet, despite his peaceful life, his enemies were plotting against him. The University of Santo Tomas, influenced by the prejudiced friars, reported that his novel Noli Me Tangere was heretical, scandalous, and anti-Spanish. The Censorship Commission agreed and recommended that the book be banned, fearing its influence on the people. Governor General Terrero, however, took a different approach. While he prohibited the importation and circulation of the novel, he refused to punish readers harshly or order mass arrest. This decision was crucial. Instead of silencing Rizal, the ban made the novel even more popular. Secretly, Filipinos read it at night, passing copies from hand to hand. The Spanish friars, depicted here in the background, were displeased because the ideas in the book challenged their authority, but the people embraced it.
And now I will be going to discuss the chapter 10 of Life and Work of Rizal, which focuses on the attacks and defenses of Noli Me Tangere. After the publication of Noli Me Tangere, the novel immediately became the center of a fierce controversy. Instead of a physical battle, what followed was a war of words, led mainly by Spanish friars who felt threatened by the truths exposed in the novel. So, one of the strongest attackers was Father Font, who printed and distributed reports to discredit the novel. Another was Father Jose Rodriguez, an Augustinian friar, who published 8 pamphlets under the title Cuestiones de Sumo Interés. So, these pamphlets warned Filipinos not to read Noli Me Tangere, claiming that reading it was sinful and dangerous to faith and morals. Copies of these pamphlets were sold in churches after Mass, and many Filipinos were pressured to buy them. However, despite the friars' efforts, many people did not believe their exaggerated and emotional attacks. The controversies did not stop in the Philippines. It reached Spain, where Noli Me Tangere was attacked by Spanish senators in the Cortes. Prominent figures like General Jose de Salamanca, General Luis de Pando, and Fernando Vida openly criticized the novel. In addition, Vicente Barrantes, a Spanish academician and a former official in the Philippines, published a harsh critique of the novel in the Madrid newspaper. But despite these attacks, Noli Me Tangere also had brave defenders, Filipino reformers abroad such as Marcelo H. del Pilar, Graciano Lopez Haina, Mariano Ponce, and Antonio Redigor strongly defended the novel and upheld its truth. Even some Spaniards and priests supported Rizal. So Father Sanchez, Rizal's former teacher at the Ateneo, publicly praised the novel. So other respected figures like Don Sigismundo Muret, Dr. Miguel Moraita, and Professor Ferdinand Blumentritt read and admired Noli Me Tangere. So one of the most unexpected and powerful defense came from Father Vicente Garcia, a Filipino priest and scholar, writing under the pen name Justo Desiderio Magalang. He published a defense of Noli Me Tangere in 1988. He argued that Rizal was not ignorant because he was graduates of Spanish universities. That Rizal attacked abusive officials and corrupt friars, not the church or Spain, and that if reading the Noli were a moral sin, then Father Rodriguez himself was guilty because he had read it. So when Rizal learned about Father Garcia's defense, he was deeply moved and even cried out of gratitude. Rizal himself later defended Noli Me Tangere against Vicente Barrantes through a letter written in Brussels, where he exposed Barrantes' ignorance about Philippine realities and answered him with sharp satire.
Ironically, the intense attacks only made the novel more popular. All copies of No Limitangere were sold out, and its price rose dramatically from 5 pesetas to as high as 50 pesos per copy. Friends and enemies alike struggled to obtain a copy. In conclusion, chapter 10 shows that No Limit Tangheri was a powerful and dangerous book in the eyes of the colonizers because it spoke the truth. The fierce attacks proved its impact, while its defenders showed that truth, courage, and reason could stand against oppression. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Today I will be reporting about Rizal and Travel Andrade and how this period connects to Columba's agrarian trouble. First, Rizal and Lieutenant Jose Travel Andrade were both educated and cultured men. They shared common interests such as fencing, shooting, painting, and hiking. Because of these shared activities, mutual respect and friendship developed between them. Lieutenant Andrade was assigned as Rizal's bodyguard in Calamba due to generosity of Governor General Terrero. This was during a time of political tension, yet Rizal was not harmed because of the protection given to him. Rizal was known for being refined, educated, and gentlemanly. He loved nature and the arts and remained calm despite threats and rumors against him. One such rumor was the accusation that Rizal raised a German flag on Mount Makiling. This accusation was false and was spread by his enemies to create suspicion. Rizal chose to ignore these baseless claims. During this time, a strong friendship developed between Rizal and Lieutenant Andrade. Andrade's presence ensured Rizal's safety, and the relationship showed that trust could exist beyond political differences. Now, I will discuss Columba's agrarian trouble, which explains why Rizal was facing hostility. The Dominican order owned vast hacienda lands, including Calamba and nearby areas. These lands were cultivated by Filipino tenants who depended on them for their livelihood. Over time, complaints arose because of unfair land ownership and rent practices. One major problem was that the Dominican order controller not only the farmlands but also the entire town of Calamba. Rent was increased frequently and unfairly, causing profits to rise while tenants suffered. Additionally, the hacienda owners did not contribute to town fiestas, education, or agricultural improvements. Tenants who spent years clearing and improving land were removed for weak or unjust reasons. Harsh penalties were also imposed. High interest rates were charged on delayed rent payments, and when tenants failed to pay their homes, tools and even carabaos were confiscated. Because of these injustices, the people of Calamba suffered economic hardship and insecurity. Farmers who lost land despite years of hard work, leading to widespread resentment and unrest. Historically, the Calamba issue became a symbol of agrarian injustice during Spanish colonial rule. It exposed the abuse of power by religious corporations and contributed to the awakening of Filipino nationalism. In conclusion, Rizal's experience in Calamba, his protection by Lieutenant Traveldi Andrade, and the agrarian problem are closely connected. These events show Rizal's character, the injustices faced by Filipinos, and the growing desire to reform and justice. Okay, so thank you, and that is all for today.
Next is chapter 10. First, farewell to Calamba. Rizal's bold exposure of the unjust tenancy system in Calamba greatly angered the friars and colonial authorities. Because of this, his enemies pressured Malacanang Palace to take action against him. Although the friars demanded his deportation, Governor General Terrero initially refused due to the absence of legal charges. However, anonymous threats against Rizal's life alarmed his family and close friends. They strongly advised him to leave Calamba to avoid possible harm. Eventually, Governor General Terrero advised Rizal to go abroad for his own safety. Rizal agreed, not out of fear, but to protect his loved ones from danger. He believed he could better fight injustice and serve his country through his writings while overseas. And last, a poem for Lipa, Hymn to Labor. Hymn to Labor was written by Rizal to honor the people of Lipa upon its elevation to a city. The poem celebrates the dignity and importance of work in building the nation. Rizal emphasizes that Filipinos are always ready to serve their country, whether in times of war or peace. He highlights the role of men as hard-working providers who labor for family and homeland. The wives are portrayed as loyal partners who nurture the home and instill values in their children. Women are shown as strong and resilient, capable of continuing life even in hardship. The girls and youths are encouraged to value work as the source of health, strength, and national prosperity. Overall, the poem teaches that love of country is best shown through honest labor and unity.